Good morning. It's Saturday, May 11th. I'm Lisa Nunez in the Fox 5 newsroom. Thank you for joining us live on the Fox local app. Well, police are looking for a suspect accused of wrapping a belt around a woman's neck and then sexually assaulting her. The suspect is identified as 39-year-old Keshawn Parks. The attack was all caught on camera in the Melrose section of the Bronx. The suspect is known to police. And an 11-year-old girl was slashed near a subway station in East Harlem. Police say she was cut near her ear Friday afternoon. Investigators caught up to the suspect and took him into custody. The girl was taken to Harlem Hospital for her injuries. And checking the forecast for the weekend today, a mix of sun and clouds with a high of 62 degrees. Expect showers overnight, and for Mother's Day, a cool and wet start. Temperatures will be in the 50s. And as we hear more and more about artificial intelligence, a study out of Stony Brook shows how AI can measure the public's mental health through social media. Some say this can be a new tool for public health leaders. Fox 5's Jody Goldberg takes a closer look.
At first glance, it looks like another language, and that's because to most people, coding is. But here at Stony Brook University, researchers are using AI or artificial intelligence to measure a person's well-being based on social media activity.
They take in literally people's language patterns, words.
Talking about being scared or sad or uncomfortable or lonely. And on the other side, we might see people talking about happiness, family, good social life.
A study led by Stony Brook researchers recently published in Nature Digital Medicine found the accuracy of the AI assessment was comparable to traditional polling. It also sampled more people in a shorter time, and it generated more precise information at a lower cost.
The U.S. is cut down into 3,000 U.S. counties. We captured around 1,500 of those counties, but those counties include over 90% of Americans.
When comparing pre and post COVID-19, findings show a shift in anxiety and depression on Long Island. The same held true nationally in response to other major events, including the murder of George Floyd.
This was a major shift up in depression across the U.S. And all these little individual lines are all of the local communities.
Now the team is waiting on data from this year to analyze the current anxiety and depression levels associated with local and world events, like the recent earthquake and the Israel-Hamas war.
This is really important because recently there's been a rise in causes of death related to mental health conditions. Suicide mortality has been on the rise, especially among adolescents and youth, opioid mortality as well. And these are conditions that you can't understand how they change just by monitoring biological data from hospitals.
Researchers hope the tool can also help mental health professionals better understand the needs of their community. In Stony Brook, Long Island, Jody Goldberg, Fox 5 News.
Well, more than 90 illegal scooters were seized in Queens in a joint operation by the NYPD and the district attorney's office. It took place in Elmhurst, Corona, and Long Island City Wednesday into Thursday. Officials say the crackdown is to address the persistent use of scooters in crimes like drive-by shootings and robberies. A total of 412 scooters have been seized since the operation began in February. Well, police in Westport, Connecticut are searching for two thieves who pulled off a brazen jewelry store heist. Surveillance video shows them using a sledgehammer to smash the display cases Thursday afternoon at Lux, Bond, and Green on Main Street. Police say the suspects grabbed an unknown amount of jewelry before taking off in a black BMW. Employees who were present during the robbery went to the back of the store and were not hurt. And federal regulators are looking at airline and credit card reward programs under a microscope. A review is now underway after some consumers accuse companies of using a bait and switch technique with their benefits. Fox 5's Teresa Priolo explains.
How many times have you wanted to book a trip and so you thought, I'll use points, only to find out those points don't get you off the couch, let alone on the beach? Turns out that's the point.
The average consumer has no idea what they're really getting. What is the value of the actual rewards?
This week, the issue of travel rewards programs through credit card points was front and center in Washington as the Department of Transportation and the Consumer Finance Protection Board met to discuss what they call the predatory practices of credit card reward programs.
A point is worth about a penny when you're trying to redeem it. It's worth a nickel or a dime if you're trying to buy it.
The trouble comes when the airlines devalue their points without warning. It happened just this week with United, changing their partner programs and upping their mileage rates 122% overnight.
Since these programs by design often can encourage a customer to not choose the product with the lowest price, we want to make sure we understand the impact that rewards programs have on competition and market behavior.
At the Points Guy, their business was started by helping you navigate these points programs. And even they see some of the programs thrive in their lack of transparency, while the customer loses out.
If a consumer has been saving up for this dream trip and all of a sudden those points will only cover half the trip because there was a devaluation, I think this is sort of putting the airlines on notice that they have to be careful.
One more thing to keep in mind, everybody wants to acquire points, but it's a tricky game, one that doesn't work if you carry a balance.
Whatever value you're getting in the rewards is quickly eliminated by the interest rates that you're paying to carry a balance on those revolving cards.
This is all part of the Credit Card Competition Act of 2024, which aims to break up the Visa MasterCard duopoly and do away with credit card reward programs. At Newark Liberty International Airport, Teresa Priolo, Fox 5 News.
The MTA marking a major milestone with the completion of the Harmon Shop in Croton-on-Hudson. It's Metro North's new 400,000 square foot maintenance and operations hub. The MTA credits the Harmon Shop for why Metro North operates with a 99% on-time performance. The MTA also announced a new discounted bus ticket that New Yorkers living in Rockland and Orange counties can use to get to east of the Hudson.
We're going to give them more options, and one of the reasons we want to do this is as we approach the onset of congestion pricing, we want to make sure that the folks who live in Rockland and Orange have a few more options to get to this amazing Metro North service over here instead of relying on New Jersey Transit.
The MTA will also provide increased ferry service as well as parking and bus discounts for New Yorkers living in Rockland and Orange counties. Well, a fifth grade teacher in Eastchester is in the running to become America's favorite teacher. Fox 5's Richard Jacobus introduces us to her.
His body was tense, his head pointed toward the sound.
There are teachers, and then there's Deanna Santoro.
I knew in fourth grade that I wanted to be a teacher, and I just always had that in my mind that was my passion.
Planes could be crashing or something.
Let's see.
Now teaching fifth grade at Eastchester's Ann Hutchinson School, Miss Santoro is wrapping up her 31st year, making a difference in the lives of each student she comes across.
Wait till you hear this. I woke up at dawn in the morning of August 20th.
It's a special afternoon on this last Friday of Teacher Appreciation Week in Miss Santoro's classroom. You see, this teacher is so beloved, she's now one of just a few dozen teachers in the country who are in the running to become America's favorite teacher, a Reader's Digest competition that Miss Santoro, on a whim, entered a few weeks ago.
America's favorite teacher, 31 years. I figured I have to be somebody's favorite.
With less than 3 weeks of voting left, Miss Santoro is very much in this competition. She's reached the quarterfinals with a whole community, including current and former students, rallying to get her to the top spot.
She inspires us to work hard. She engages with us so well, and she makes learning so much fun.
Deanna just brings really a light and a joy to her classroom.
Ms. Santoro says even if nothing comes of this, connecting with students from years past has been enough of a reward. But also seeing how much she's loved, well, that's the greatest gift a teacher can ever get.
If anybody had Miss Santoro as a teacher, they would be just as lucky as we are.
Voting in the quarterfinals for America's favorite teacher runs through next Thursday, May 16th. If Miss Santoro pulls it out and moves on to the semifinals, voting will then go through May 30th. That's the final round. If Miss Santoro can win it all, she'll get a feature in Reader's Digest, $25,000, and a trip to Hawaii. So her class, well, they want nothing more than this. We're in Eastchester. Richard Giacobus, Fox 5 News.
All right, let's get a final check of the forecast. Today, a mix of sun and clouds with a high of 62 degrees. Tonight, showers do move through, and for Mother's Day, expect rain with temperatures in the 50s. And that does it for us this morning. I'm Lisette Nunez. Have a great day, and remember, Fox 5 News is always streaming here on the Fox local app.